Yay.
Great. Well, good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day you're watching this. We just hope it's good for you. We are
Mhm.
all in alignment. You can see some of that behind Anita's head, but not all of it. With my partner, Anita and Cheryl.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Now we're done all the
And
finger signs, sign motions.
and we have to say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear my partner Cheryl. Happy birthday to you yesterday.
Yes, I was going to say it was yesterday, but thank you. I love the rendition. And she doesn't usually sing.
Yeah, and I'm not a singer. We know that. Yes, we do.
Well, that's too funny.
Okay,
Got one
so good
card fly out.
morning. Well, look at who's
What?
coming. Look at this. What? Sherry, so nice to see you, sisters. Look at that. We got some people coming in we haven't seen for a long time.
Um,
Sharat, interesting that you would show up here this morning because we have a mutual friend that's heading your way, New York City bound, next week. So
cool.
I have to connect you.
Ooh. Well, every Friday we come on here live at typically around 9:30. Last week was the exception, and wasn't that fun? If you had the
Wow.
opportunity to attend live or watch the replay, just make a comment because that was it was exceptional having both Tara and Karen with us. So, and even last week,
Hmm.
we
I
still
mean,
take our
it
theme
was. Yeah.
from the feng shui. It's feng shui Friday. I haven't had any coffee yet. Personal
Yeah.
Paradise card deck by none other than Tara Catherine Collins, who was our guest last week.
Hmm.
Which was just such a delight to have the three of you dragons bring in the Chinese New Year. I'll tell you what,
Yes.
this little rabbit hopped on their backs so we can all fly together. There was some great nuggets, and there was a lot of nuggets in that. So if you haven't had the opportunity, really recommend you scrolling down and watching the replay, or of course, it's always on our YouTube channel. Now, this
Hmm.
amazing person beside me has had an amazing week. She's so incredibly talented. And, yesterday we had the honor,
Oh, it was
I call it an
amazing.
honor,
Yeah. Hmm.
to do not one, but two online presentations for the Calgary Board of Education Support Staff Convention. Wow. Wow, Anita, it was so much fun. And some of the feedback you got.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's always fun to do those presentations, with you, with my partner. But the heart just goes like, wow, when we can see that we are making an
Impact.
immediate impact,
Yes.
that we can shift somebody's perspective in an instant.
Yes.
And that feedback and the participation, we know that we made a difference.
Hmm.
And that's what it's all about.
It
So
is.
yeah.
It is. Do you have any of those comments handy that you can share that we got?
Well, I could find them
Well,
real quick.
not necessary. We
Yeah.
can put some of them in the chat. It was such a delight. And for me, one of my siblings asked how I spent my birthday. I said, doing what I love.
Yeah.
Because we love to present, we love to teach, we love to, and we hope to inspire people. And when we get the feedback like we got, it's like, yes,
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
was
no.
such a good feeling.
Yeah. Okay, yes, I do have this somewhere. Right here. Bum, 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 bum.
Ooh, there's our
One
third card.
of the comments was, where were they? Oh, yeah. So thank you for a wonderful session. Thank you so much, Capitals, for such a great presentation this afternoon. I love the silent stressors. It really made me see a lot of things and gave me some hope, right? I will
Yeah,
tackle them. That's, it gave me
that's
some hope.
huge. Yeah.
Yay. Anyways, if you are here right now, go hashtag live. Let's get some more people in here. And if you're listening to this in the replay, then hashtag replay. And yeah, good morning, Gloria, Sandra. Sandra, we don't do cards on only on the first Friday of the month, then.
Right. However, I did
Correct.
pull cards for our theme for today.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So maybe one of these
Sharats
will
joining us
resonate.
from New York. Sherry, I know you're in the East Coast of the US somewhere. Do you want to just remind me where you're from? Because it's been a while since I've seen you on there. So
Cool.
yeah.
All right. You ready
Cool.
for our themes? Got your pen and paper?
I got it. I'm ready.
Okay. So the first one that flew out right off the bat, and it has been, which I find very interesting because it's a lot about the theme for the year being an 8-year, wealth and prosperity. And this card literally has come up, I believe, at least the last 3 weeks in a row,
Oh, at least. Yeah.
if
Yeah.
not more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the number 47 card, wealth and
Yep.
prosperity.
Yep.
And just as we were talking about what we were doing yesterday, and it's mentioning that we wrapped up last night with our 21-day decluttering program, the number 25 card, getting organized, flew out.
Getting organized.
Getting organized.
Oh yeah. Let's
Yep.
get organized.
Which is so
Mm-hmm.
funny. And then right at the end, the 38 and 39 cards. Now, we have been shuffling this deck for just about 3 years.
It
Well,
has
actually
been
longer
3.
than that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And the 38 and 39 card flew out together. They were stuck together. So what are the
Okay.
odds of the two in order cards being together? All right.
I don't know.
So
Okay.
38 is hallways and stairways.
Oh.
And 39 is closet, drawers, and
Mm.
cabinets.
Okay, well.
So I want to say the energy is really strong from our 21-day decluttering program group.
Well. And so let's start at the top, the wealth and prosperity card. Like you said, it's an 8-year, and the energy is ripe for that manifestation.
Yes.
Cheryl and I've had an incredibly, I don't want to call it busy. I'm going to call it productive. Past month, let's call it. You were in Mexico, and we did programs, and we did a live workshop last weekend. And prior to that, we did an online. And one of the participants from our online Vision Quest workshop, I spoke with her last night, and she was like, OMG, the miracles that have been happening for her as a result of doing her Vision Quest and doing her daily practice.
Oh, that is
that
so
we
awesome.
infused in that. So that was like, wow. And then you and I also have been asked to do a private class for a group of for a networking company, actually. Right. And we are going to be presenting that next week. And it's all about feng shuiing your office, how to activate your prosperity corner, how to find your power position, how to, identify the prime real estate in your office, and how to activate the energy to get more clients. So we're going to be doing that. And then, so you and I were talking just before we came on here about, maybe we should be offering that, we've been asked to do it privately for this network marketing company, yes. And so yeah, if you're interested in something like that, say yes in the chat, and maybe we're going to offer that to y'all.
Yeah, perfect. Love it. Love it,
Okay.
love it, love it. So yeah, I was not surprised to see wealth and prosperity coming up, because as this energy is speeding up, and if anybody else hasn't noticed it, be prepared, you will. We're manifesting quicker.
Yes.
Whatever those thoughts are, and that's what we talk about in the vision quest that we did live last weekend. And you're manifesting quicker.
Mm-hmm.
So if you weren't paying attention to your thoughts before, you might want to start paying attention to them.
Yeah. Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. And I didn't even tell you this. Something that I put on my vision board
Mhm.
from that was last week only, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Last Saturday on Chinese New Year, we did a
Yes.
live in-person Vision Quest workshop. And I put something on mine, and I literally have had an email already this week that said, yes, we'd love to have you come to Hawaii.
Yay. That's so cool.
Anyways, more about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. So yes, we've got some interesting people maybe interested
Cool.
in the Feng Shui Your Office program. Okay.
Which is very cool, because it takes one space in your home, right? That's what we'll be talking about, one particular space in your home, and we'll take you through the whole thing. But anyway,
Mhm.
getting back on track to the getting organized. Um, this for many people is huge. And we heard it over and over and over again yesterday in both of
Yes.
the classes we taught for Calgary Board of Education. And thank you, Calgary Board of Education, for inviting us.
Hmm.
What an honor and
Yeah.
privilege to be there for the support staff. Um, the getting organized part came up quite a bit yesterday. Did you notice that?
Yes, it did. Yes. Hmm.
And for many people, um, this is a huge hurdle, but it doesn't have to be. It's because often we take on too big of a project, too big of a bite.
Hmm.
And when you can break it down into smaller steps and utilize some of our tips, TIP 20 is plenty. You can take a big project and break it down into simple steps and utilize 20 minutes a day to get yourself organized. And that, even breathing into that, is way more doable.
Yes.
I also love that this 25 card equals a 7.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to read a couple points that Tara put on this card that says, ask yourself these clear the way questions. Does it support who I am and act as an affirmational belonging in my life? Now,
Right.
what is an affirmational belonging? Everything in your house.
Hmm.
Because it's either talking to you and supporting you, or it's energetically talking to you and not supporting you, which is interesting. So Anita and I, when we taught the Vision Quest live last weekend, we shared with everybody that your entire house is a vision board.
Yeah, potentially it is, right?
Yeah.
Potentially everything that surrounds you is impressing an idea, a thought, or an emotion on the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is the one that's in control, and that is the directive in how you live and lead your life.
Mm-hmm.
And there are so many things that could be in your environment that you're not even consciously aware of, that could be impressing a disempowering idea, thought, or emotion that is not serving your highest potential,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
So
So,
one other one I
and
want to read on the getting
yeah,
organized. Okay.
yeah,
Does it need, and this is huge. This is really, really big. So I want to add asterisks and put it all in bold for you. Does it need to be fixed or repaired?
Mm,
And am I willing to do it now? Huge, 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 huge. How often, Anita, have we been in a home consultation or a business consultation and see items that are in disrepair?
hmm. A lot.
And
Hmm.
what would you assume? So this is just for everybody that's watching us. Put your response in the chat. We did this a lot yesterday, so I'm still in that habit, and I like it. So if you walked into a store and you saw a light fixture hanging, what's your first impression? What is your first thought? Just curious.
Like if it was hanging in disrepair,
In
you mean?
disrepair. Yeah,
Right,
like
right.
not secured to the ceiling.
Hmm.
I'm just curious what
Yeah.
you would think about that store.
Hmm. Well, I'm going to give you a personal story. My son um, listed one of his properties for sale a month and a bit ago. And I said to my son and my husband, you guys should go in there because I know personally it's a rental property. Personally, that there were a few things, just minor things, right,
Mhm.
that I wanted them to go and touch up.
Fix. Yeah.
And it might have been out of pocket $200, right? But neither one of them wanted to listen to me, right? Because they didn't want to be bothered. If somebody else wants to go in there and that's not a big deal. Well, turns out that lots of showings, lots of people came in, and the comments were that it needed a lot of work. When in
Mhm.
fact, it didn't need a lot of work. It needed a couple $100 worth of work, a little bit of sweat equity, right?
Mhm.
And I don't even want to tell you the difference it made on the bottom dollar, but it was
Yep.
more than a couple $100,
Mhm.
right? And I know like one of our persons on here is a realtor. And, again, many times I have worked with realtors and, in homes that they're getting ready to sell
Mm.
and just those subtle little things. And actually, even in my own home last week, was it last week? Yes, I think it was last week. I said to my husband, I need you to get out the WD-40 because there were some of my doors in my house, the bedroom door, my office
Mhm.
door, that you open them and they went, they were squeaking, right? And it was irritating me.
Yes.
And I, so I made him. We went around the whole house and he did the squirts and I wiped the thing and wow, there are no squeaky doors. And the one was in our pantry, the pantry door.
Mhm.
And when the little people come over, of course, I mean, that was probably, we should have probably left
Left
that
that
one
one.
squeaking because then you could hear them going in and out of the cupboard.
Yeah.
But wow, what a difference. And my husband even said the next day, like, oh yeah, he didn't, we become complacent and
Complacent.
we think, it's just a little thing.
Right.
But those little things
Things.
add up
Yes.
and over time end up, could cost a lot of money. But then the other part of that is, why are we settling,
Mhm.
right? Why are we settling to have a squeaky door, a
Yep.
burnt out light bulb, a blouse that doesn't have a button? Why are we settling on those things?
Mhm.
Don't we deserve to, live in that space that makes us feel good and where there are no little irritants, right? Because you think if you have a squeaky door, that irritates you. A burnt out light bulb, you can't see when you go in the closet to look for something, that irritates you. Then there's a broken something else that irritates you. Well, then pretty soon all those irritants, then you go blah to your husband
Mhm.
and then it just goes on from there, right?
Yeah.
So
That ripple, so it ripples,
yeah.
and it ripples out further than you realize. Cool. All right. Any
Okay,
comments in
I'm
the
gonna
chat?
say we got lots of people on here this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Alexa says, happy birthday, Cheryl.
Mhm.
And
Thank you.
Sherry says she's from Chicago. That's right. I remember now, Sherry. And Sounderbird said, yeah, they should have listened to me. Yeah, well, sometimes when you're so close, right?
Yep.
That's what happens.
You need third party validation, not your spouse.
Yeah, they don't value my opinion sometimes. Anyways, it's all good.
Okay. So any comments about that where I'd asked about how people would, what were their first thoughts or what their impression would be about a store that had a light
Uh,
fixture hanging off?
yeah, so one would be that they don't have passion about their business. They
Mm.
would question the integrity of the owner.
Mm.
Wouldn't buy something in that store, right? Yeah, because based on our past experiences and our own beliefs, um, something that's in disrepair that maybe that has a potential to fall on you is, yeah, they don't care about me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or
Now that's your um
mhm,
perception, that's your
yeah,
opinion
yeah,
based on your experiences of a
right.
store, but the same holds true for your home.
Hmm.
And that's why I wanted your opinion. Because someone else, like in the explanation that Anita just shared with the house up for sale,
Hmm.
it's someone else coming in and it's your energy in there. So our complacency sometimes works against us, especially energetically. And when it comes to, want to increase your wealth and prosperity, well, make room for it. Care for what you already have. Some of the
Yeah. So
processes.
fix those things, even
Fix
if
those
they
things.
seem like little things, like the squeaky door or whatever. Just fix them, right? Get them fixed,
Well, it's that
because
cleanups and
then,
completions. Again, we talked about this yesterday.
yeah.
The cleanups and completions. You can walk into, and I've heard this, and it may be for someone online here, it may not be, but so let's take closets, drawers, and cabinets, for example. How many of things are in them, stored in them, hidden away that could be completed, that are partial projects, that are not completed, that are not done, that would take minimal effort to finish, or admit you're never going to do it, bless it, and release it,
Mhm.
because that is stuck energy. It's like you haven't completed your meal, there's food sitting on your plate, and you don't clean the plate off.
Mhm.
Really no different when we have incomplete projects.
Well, and again, yesterday there was somebody that said, they had a lot of things,
Hmm.
little crafty projects or whatever
Yeah.
that were incompleted. And we went back to that 20 is plenty. Get into that habit or the mindset. If you spend 20 minutes a day doing something that is decluttering a drawer, a closet shelf,
Getting organized.
repairing something, completing a little project,
Yes.
20 minutes over 3 weeks adds up to 7 hours. That's a full workday, right? That's huge, huge. And I have to say that we're always, coaching our 21-day
Mhm.
decluttering clients to release and bless and let go of things that they no longer need, that no longer serve them. And when we were doing our in-person Vision Quest workshop, it's really hard to find magazines
Mhm.
nowadays.
Mhm.
And I went to the secondhand store and I was thrilled to find this huge basket full of somebody's uh, papers that they had from scrapbooking, right? Remember when
Yeah.
scrapbooking was a
The big
popular
thing.
thing to
Yeah.
do? And And so all of those little scrapbooking, there were some magnificent pieces that we incorporated into our vision board workshop. And so you just never know how you're going to bless somebody else's life,
Mhm.
right? So, I mean, I walked in there to the store and I was like, wow, I was just like, I'd hit the jackpot because
Exactly.
there it was, exactly what I needed. And, at the right time, at the right price, and all of those things. So when you're letting go, if you have that crafty project and you had good intention 10 years ago to do it, and it's 10 years later, chances are you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So, just think about how you could be blessing somebody else's life. And that again comes back to that wealth and prosperity. That's
Mhm.
that abundance thinking, that mindset
Absolutely.
that, what, I'm gonna just put it out there in circulation and let
Mhm.
it bless somebody else's
Mhm.
life. Mhm.
Exactly. And interestingly, one of our members of the 21-day decluttering program took 2, did she say 2 vehicle loads?
Yes.
And
Mhm.
donated it to her friend who was having a garage sale, and her friend was ecstatic. So it created that win-win relationship between them,
Mhm.
right? Again, there is that flow of abundance, and energy is always wanting to be in flow. But when we don't, when we allow it to build up and become stagnant, then it becomes heavy. And it's like blocking that flow of energy is blocking your flow of wealth and prosperity. So just keep that in mind. So
Mhm.
let's touch, we're already just put at the top of the hour. Let's touch briefly on hallways and stairways. It's very interesting, these cards that came up today, this order. Number 38 also equals an 11.
Mhm.
So we've had 2 11s and a 7 so far.
Right.
So hallways and stairways, and maybe the hallways and stairways has come up because of it's a great example of flow.
Mhm.
So if you don't have, if you, or let me rephrase that. If in your hallway you've created, right, a beautiful flow and it's a long hallway, that's slowing the chi down to meander. Perfect. If you've got stairs and people have tripped on them, or it's not uncommon to hear the kids running up and down them, the chi's kind of flowing a little bit fast.
Mhm.
So you do want to try and slow the chi down. It's great to have it coming into your home. You absolutely want it flowing and moving and circulating, but it needs to remain in there on a lovely, balanced path, shall we say. So kind of like walking along the ocean and enjoying the water on your feet against the sand and the sun. You want to take your time and enjoy that stroll.
Well, and I also think that those two cards might have come out together today, because stairways and hallways have the potential, as you mentioned,
Mhm.
to be very, where the energy, the chi is very, very fast
Fast.
moving. And you started out our conversation today saying that the energy is very fast
Oh,
and
there we
things are
go.
manifesting very quickly.
Hmm.
And I think that's a really good sandwich in there again to remind us that
Yes.
um, things are very, very fast moving. And, our friend Karen Abler Carrasco, who's on the call with us today,
Oh, good morning,
was our
Karen.
guest last Friday for the Chinese New Year. In her article, I'm going to post it again because it's extremely well written. I love it. And Karen had some great insight again about this year of the wood dragon energy, that it's going to be very expansive. It's going to be very fast moving. And hence why we need to get organized, people. Get organized, clean out those closets, clean out those drawers, because things could shift in a heartbeat
Yes.
and have you feeling completely overwhelmed and consumed by this
Tough.
dense physical energy, when in fact, we have all this beautiful flow. We need to get doing other things, right?
Exactly. Love it. Love it. Love it. So I did a quick tally on the numbers. So 47 is an 11, 25 is a 7, 38 is an 11, 39 is a 12. Everything totals up
Okay.
to and breaks down to a 5. And
Yep.
I'm chuckling because I mean, I always go to double digitology, balanced and poised for movement.
Oh, oh, wow. What did I just say? Yeah, yeah.
That's why I was chuckling while you were
Oh,
laughing.
yeah.
Oh,
Love
the
it.
5 is change. There's bullet points in here, and of course you can go get your own book online.
Yep.
Changing one's energy, changing one's direction. The 5 is seeking balance between the physical and spiritual world. A move in a totally new direction, almost a pivot in an opposite path.